You think you live in America, but you don't. You live in one of 3 Americas that exist in the exact same place. And most people don't even realize which one they're in until it's way too late. And here's the wild part. These 3 countries have completely different rules, completely different futures, and they're separated by numbers so small, it's almost insulting. There's a set of statistics that came out recently about the average American's finances, and when I first saw them, I thought there had to be a mistake. Because the math doesn't just look bad, it looks impossible, like mathematically unsustainable. The average American has $104,215 in debt. They also have $62,410 saved for retirement. They earn about $59,384 a year, and 78% of them are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I've spent an embarrassing amount of time staring at spreadsheets, and these numbers describe 3 completely different realities happening simultaneously. My name is Megan. I'm an accountant, and here I share smart financial tips that anyone can implement today. If you've ever felt like you're working harder than your parents did, but somehow getting further behind, and you want to understand what's actually happening to your money and how to fix it, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button if this breakdown helps you see things more clearly. Now, before we dive into what these numbers actually mean, let me paint you a picture of what we're dealing with. You're sitting at your kitchen table on a Sunday night, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make it to Friday. Not next month, not next year, just Friday. You make decent money. You're not irresponsible. You don't buy stupid stuff. And yet somehow there's $847 in your checking account. Your credit card balance is climbing, and you just got a text that your car insurance is due in 3 days. You're doing the mental math of what you can delay, what you can put on the card, what you can maybe skip this month. And the really messed up part? You make $65,000 a year. You should be fine, but you're not. Here's what actually happens when you look at the 10 most shocking stats about American finances in 2026. These aren't just numbers. They're a map of 3 different countries, and understanding which one you're in changes everything about how you need to approach money. Let's start with the stat that keeps me up at night. 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money or selling something. $400. That's not a medical emergency. That's not a car accident. That's a washing machine breaking. That's your dog eating something expensive and needing emergency surgery. You know, Tuesday. And 132 million Americans are one random Tuesday away from debt they didn't plan for. But here's where it gets really interesting. This stat describes the first America, the one living in what I call survival mode. Every decision is about right now because there is no later. You can't think about retirement when you're thinking about Friday. The second shocking stat. The median retirement savings for Americans ages 55 to 64 is $120,000. Now, you might think that sounds pretty good, but here's the thing. At a safe 4% withdrawal rate, that's $4,800 a year. That's $400 a month to live on, after working for 40 years. And this is the second America, the middle group that thinks they're doing okay because they have something saved. They've got a 401k, they're contributing, they think they're playing the game right. But the math is quietly, slowly crushing them, and they don't see it yet. Here's stat number 3, and this is where most people completely miss what's actually happening. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. But here's the kicker. This includes people making 6 figures. This isn't just a poverty problem. This is a psychology problem. I've seen people making $150,000 a year who are just as trapped as people making $40,000. The dollar amounts are different, but the fear is exactly the same. And that's because they're in the second America, where your lifestyle grows faster than your income, and you end up in a golden cage that's still a cage. Let me show you exactly how this works. The average American has 3 credit cards. The average credit card debt is $6,501, but the average credit card interest rate right now is 24.37%. So if you're making minimum payments on $6,501 at 24.37%, you're paying $1,585 a year just in interest. That's money evaporating into nothing. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. And 45% of Americans carry a balance month to month, which means 45% of the country is actively losing money every single day to interest they don't have to pay. Now, you might be thinking this sounds depressing, and yeah, it kind of is, but here's what most people don't realize. These stats also show you the exact escape route, because there's a third America in these numbers, and it's not the rich people. It's the people who figured out the invisible rules. Stat number 5. The average American spends $1,497 per month on non-essential purchases. Restaurants, subscriptions, impulse buys, stuff they forgot they're paying for. That's $17,964 a year on things that didn't matter enough to remember. And here's where it gets really interesting. That number, $17,964, is almost exactly the amount that separates the first America from the second. It's the difference between paycheck to paycheck and having a safety net. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine 2 people, both making $60,000 a year. Person A spends everything they make. Person B cuts their non-essential spending by half, saves $748 a month. After 1 year, Person A still has $0 saved. Person B has $8,976 in the bank. After 2 years, Person A is in the exact same place. Person B has $17,952 saved, and their entire life feels different. Not because they're rich, but because they've crossed into the second America where breathing room exists. But here's the part that will blow your mind. The gap between the second America and the third America is even smaller. Stat number 6. Only 10% of Americans max out their retirement accounts. Only 10% are putting in $23,000 a year into their 401k or $7,000 into their IRA. And this is the group that's going to retire with actual money. The average 401k balance for someone who consistently maxes out their contributions over 30 years is over $2.4 million. That's not rich parent money. That's just math over time. But 90% of Americans never even try because they think it's impossible. Here's stat number 7, and this one makes me irrationally angry. The average car payment in America is $739 per month. $739 every single month for 68 months on average. That's $50,252 on a depreciating asset. And here's what nobody tells you. That $739 a month invested instead at 8% annual returns for 30 years becomes $1.09 million. One car payment invested for your working life is retirement. But the average American will buy 6 cars in their lifetime, which means they're trading $6.5 million in future wealth for the privilege of driving something slightly nicer right now. This is where most people mess this up, and I see it constantly. They hit their first financial milestone. Maybe they save $5,000 or $10,000, and they think, I've been so good, I deserve a reward. So they finance a nicer car, or they upgrade their apartment, or they buy something expensive they've been wanting. And just like that, they're back to zero. They climbed out of the first America, touched the second America, and voluntarily jumped back down. Because nobody told them that the finish line keeps moving. Stat number 8 reveals why this happens. Americans spend an average of 7 hours a day on screens, but only 6 minutes thinking about their finances. 7 hours consuming content designed to make you want things. 6 minutes actually looking at what you have. That ratio is not an accident. Every single app on your phone is designed by teams of psychologists to make you feel like you need more. And if you're spending 7 hours a day being told you're not enough and 6 minutes facing reality, you're going to make decisions that feel good in the moment and destroy you over time. Here's stat number 9, and this is something that will probably surprise you. 64% of Americans couldn't come up with $1,000 for an emergency. Not $10,000, not $5,000, just $1,000. And the wild part is that $1,000 is the amount that changes everything. Research from Vanguard shows that once someone has $1,000 saved, they're 60% more likely to keep saving, because money creates momentum. The first $1,000 is harder than the first $10,000. Not because of the math, but because you're fighting your entire psychology, your social circle, every advertisement you've ever seen, and the voice in your head that says saving is pointless. But something remarkable happens when you break through that $1,000 barrier. You stop making decisions from fear. You start making decisions from possibility. Your boss says something disrespectful. When you have $0 saved, you smile and take it. When you have $5,000 saved, you start updating your resume. When you have $25,000 saved, you negotiate. It's the same job, the same boss, but you're a completely different person because you have options. That's what money actually buys, not stuff, options. And here's the final stat, number 10, and this one's the kicker. The average American will earn $2,763,000 over their lifetime. $2.7 million will flow through your hands between age 20 and 67. And yet 54% will retire dependent on Social Security, which pays an average of $1,907 per month. So somehow, $2.7 million becomes $1,907 a month. That's not a math problem. That's not bad luck. That's a series of 10,000 small decisions that felt reasonable at the time, but added up to a life you didn't plan for. Now you might be thinking, $2.7 million sounds impossible if you're making $45,000 a year. But here's the thing. That's exactly $45,000 a year for 47 years. It's not a fantasy, it's just time. The question is, what happens to that money while it's in your possession? Does it disappear into car payments, subscription services you forgot about, interest on credit cards, bigger houses in better neighborhoods, keeping up with people who are also broke but hiding it better? Or does some of it stay? Because here's what actually separates the three Americas. It's not income. There are people making $200,000 in the first America and people making $50,000 in the third. It's not education. It's not luck. It's the gap between what comes in and what goes out, and whether that gap is pointing in your favor or against you. The first America has a negative gap. They spend more than they make every month, and debt fills the difference. The second America has a zero gap. Everything that comes in goes out. They're stable, but stuck. The third America has a positive gap. Less comes out than goes in, and that difference compounds month after month, year after year, until money stops being something they worry about and becomes something that works for them. And here's where most people completely miss what's actually happening. You're not trying to get rich. You're trying to get to the third America, and the distance is way smaller than you think. It's not millions of dollars away. It's $400 away, then $1,000 away, then $5,000 away. Each milestone isn't just a number. It's a border crossing into a place where different rules apply. Stick with me here because this is the part that changed everything for me. I used to think personal finance was about discipline and sacrifice and depriving yourself of things you want. And then I realized it's actually about understanding that your brain is being manipulated, every single day by systems designed to extract money from you. The credit card companies offering you points, the car dealerships offering you $0 down, the subscription services offering you free trials that auto-renew, the social media algorithm showing you things your friends bought. These aren't neutral, they're sophisticated wealth extraction machines, and they work because they feel like choices. But once you see the system, you can't unsee it. You start noticing that the $47 restaurant meal isn't just $47. It's $47 that could have been $387 in 10 years. The $739 car payment isn't transportation. It's the difference between retiring at 67 and retiring at 62. Every dollar you spend is a dollar that can't compound, and every dollar you save buys you more than stuff. It buys you time, options, and the kind of confidence that comes from knowing you'll be okay, no matter what happens. The average American isn't broke because they're stupid or lazy or irresponsible. They're broke because they're playing a game where the rules are invisible, the scoreboard is hidden, and everyone around them is pretending they're winning when they're not. But you don't have to play that game. You can look at these 10 stats and see them for what they really are. A map showing exactly where the traps are, where the exits are, and which America you're currently living in. Start building that foundation today, because your future self is counting on the decision you make right now. The first $400 is the hardest, then the first $1,000, then the first $5,000. Each one gets easier because you're not just building money, you're building the identity of someone who has money. And that person makes completely different decisions than someone who doesn't. These stats aren't your destiny. They're just the default setting for people who never question the system. You're not the average American anymore. You're someone who knows which America you're in and exactly how to cross the border into the next one.